Make 2025 your most productive year by mastering single tasking for ultimate success. The ancient art of focusing on one thing, unlocking life's hidden power. We live in a world that praises multitasking. From scrolling on our phones while watching TV to juggling endless tasks at work. We're told that doing more simultaneously is the key to success. But let me ask you something, when was the last time you felt truly present? Deeply engaged in a single activity? And fully alive in that moment? Now, imagine if 2025 could be the year you break free from this fragmented way of living. The year where you master the art of single tasking, not just as a productivity hack but as a spiritual practice that transforms how you approach your life. The wisdom of single tasking is ancient. For centuries, monks, mystics, and sages have embraced focus as a gateway to enlightenment. But here's the paradox, while their lessons are old, they're more relevant than ever in our age of constant distraction. I'll take you on a journey to rediscover this lost art, blending spiritual insight with modern practicality. Let's start with a story that might be yours. Picture yourself sitting at your desk. Your email pings. Your phone vibrates. And your mind races through 1,000 thoughts. You try to do it all. But at the end of the day, you feel drained, scattered, and unaccomplished. You've run in every direction but reached nowhere. Now, contrast that with this. Imagine starting your day with intention. You choose one task, commit to it fully, and immerse yourself in its rhythm. The chatter of your mind quiets, and time seems to stretch. The task becomes a meditation, and with every moment, you feel clarity and purpose returning to your life. What makes this possible? The key lies in understanding that single tasking isn't about doing less, it's about doing what truly matters. It's about reconnecting with your work, your relationships, and yourself. Let's dive into the spiritual layer of this. In every spiritual tradition, there's a profound emphasis on presence. In Buddhism, mindfulness teaches us to be fully aware of the now. In Hinduism, the concept of dharana focuses on concentration, the single-pointed focus of the mind. Even in the West, the Stoics spoke of living fully in the present moment. When you embrace single tasking, you're practicing mindfulness in action. You're saying to yourself, this is the only moment that matters. And when you do this, something extraordinary happens. Your mind sharpens, your intuition deepens, and you feel connected to a greater flow. But here's the challenge: single tasking requires discipline. And this is where I want you to reflect deeply. What are the distractions you've allowed to control your life? Is it your phone? Endless meetings? The need to please everyone around you? You can't master single tasking without first mastering your environment. Look around you. Does your workspace encourage focus? Or is it a playground for interruptions? To single task effectively, you must create a sanctuary for your mind, a space where your soul feels at peace. Here's an exercise to try today. Choose one task that aligns with your values and goals. Before you begin, take 3 deep breaths. Set a timer for 25 minutes and commit to working on that task alone. No matter what distractions arise. Observe how your mind resists at first but eventually settles into a rhythm. Notice how, with each passing moment, your focus deepens, and your work takes on a new level of meaning. Do you see what's happening? You're not just completing a task, you're rewiring your brain. You're reclaiming control over your time, your energy, and ultimately your life. This journey won't be easy. You'll stumble. There will be days when distractions win. But remember, every time you refocus, you're strengthening your spiritual muscle. As you practice, something even deeper will unfold. You'll start to notice patterns, the way your mind reacts to boredom, the fears that pull you away, and the desires that tug at your attention. Each moment of awareness is an invitation to go deeper. And now, I want you to pause and reflect. What could you achieve if you gave your undivided attention to what truly matters? The hidden power of flow, becoming one with your work. In the first part, we uncovered the wisdom of single tasking and its ability to transform the way we live and work. But there's another dimension to this practice, a state so powerful it's often described as being in the zone. This is the state of flow, where your focus becomes so deep that you lose yourself in the task. Time fades. Distractions dissolve. And you become one with what you're doing. Let's start with a simple yet profound question. When was the last time you felt fully immersed in something? Was it a creative project? A meaningful conversation? A moment when everything seemed to click? Flow isn't just a rare experience reserved for artists or athletes, it's a state that you, too, can master. But here's the secret, flow doesn't come by accident. It's cultivated through intentional focus and the art of single tasking. To enter flow, we first need to understand its foundation. Flow happens when the challenge of a task matches your skill level. If something is too easy, you get bored. Too hard, and you feel overwhelmed. The sweet spot lies in finding a task that stretches you just enough to keep you engaged. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. If the path is flat, you'll stroll aimlessly, your mind wandering. But if it's steep and requires effort, every step demands your attention. The climb becomes an adventure. And before you know it, you're at the summit. But flow isn't just about challenges, it's also about removing barriers. In today's world, distractions are the biggest obstacles to flow. Your phone buzzes, your email pings, and your thoughts scatter. To reach flow, you need to guard your focus like a sacred flame. Here's an actionable insight. Create focus rituals to signal to your mind that it's time to enter a deep state of work. For example, light a candle before starting your task, or play a specific piece of instrumental music. Over time, these rituals become triggers, telling your brain, it's time to focus. Now, let's dive deeper. Flow isn't just about productivity, it's a spiritual state. When you're in flow, your sense of self fades, and you tap into something greater. Ancient wisdom traditions have long understood this. In Taoism, it's called Wu Wei or effortless action. In yoga, it's the union of mind, body, and spirit. Ask yourself, what would it feel like to work not from effort but from ease? This isn't about working less, it's about aligning your energy so that work feels like play. Here's a practice for cultivating flow. Start with clarity. Before beginning a task, set a clear intention. What do you want to accomplish? Why does it matter? Eliminate distractions. Put your phone on airplane mode. Close unnecessary tabs. Create a space where your mind can breathe. Immerse yourself fully. For the next 90 minutes. Let go of everything else. Dive into your task with your whole being. At first, you might struggle. Your mind will resist, pulling you toward distractions. But as you persist, a shift will happen. You'll notice moments where time seems to melt, and your work takes on a life of its own. This is flow. And here's the beauty: the more you practice, the easier it becomes. But flow isn't just for work. It's a state you can bring to every area of your life. Imagine being fully present in a conversation, deeply engaged in a hobby, or immersed in a moment of gratitude. Flow is about living fully, turning even ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences. Let me ask you a profound question. What if the key to ultimate success isn't doing more but being more present in everything you do? As you master flow, you'll notice a profound shift. Tasks that once felt draining become energizing. You'll achieve more, not through force but through alignment. And here's a final thought for this part: when you commit to single tasking in flow, you're not just changing your work habits. You're changing your relationship with life itself. Sustaining the flow, turning focus into a lifelong mastery. Now that you've glimpsed the power of single tasking and the transformative state of flow, the question remains: how do you sustain this transformation? How do you ensure that the clarity, focus, and fulfillment you cultivate in 2025 become a way of life, not just a fleeting resolution? The answer lies in turning single tasking and flow into habits, rituals that anchor your life in purpose and intention. But before we dive into the practical steps, let's take a moment to reflect on why this matters. At its core, this isn't just about productivity. It's about living in harmony with yourself and the world around you. When you focus deeply on one thing, you respect the present moment. You tell yourself and the universe, this is enough. I am enough. And isn't that what we're all searching for? But sustaining focus is no easy task. The modern world is relentless. Notifications, endless to-do lists, and the pressure to always be on can pull us back into chaos. That's why we need strategies, not just for the mind, but for the soul. Let's begin with your environment. Look around you. Is your space supporting your focus? Or is it filled with clutter and distractions? A clean, intentional workspace isn't just about aesthetics, it's about creating a sanctuary for your mind. Here's a practice: dedicate one day to decluttering your environment. Keep only what inspires focus and joy. Remove anything that scatters your attention. This isn't just about physical space, it's about creating mental clarity. But focus isn't sustained by environment alone. It requires a disciplined mind. And this is where I ask you to reflect: what is your mind holding on to that no longer serves you? Are you clinging to fears, regrets, or the need for external validation? Letting go is an act of liberation. Meditation is a powerful tool here. Each day, spend 5 minutes sitting quietly with your breath. As thoughts arise, let them pass like clouds in the sky. Over time, this practice sharpens your awareness, making it easier to return to the present moment when distractions arise. Now, let's talk about balance. Sustaining focus doesn't mean working non-stop. It means honoring the natural rhythms of your body and mind. The most productive people understand the importance of rest, not just physical rest but mental rejuvenation. Incorporate deliberate breaks into your day. Step outside. Breathe fresh air. Or take a mindful walk. These moments of pause aren't wasted, they're the fuel that keeps your focus sharp. And here's where it gets spiritual: when you step into nature or simply sit in silence, you reconnect with something larger than yourself. You realize that life isn't a race but a dance. And in that dance, Every step matters. As you build these habits, you'll face resistance. There will be days when distractions win, when you fall back into old patterns. And that's okay. Growth isn't linear. It's a spiral, bringing you back to the same lessons with deeper understanding each time. Here's an exercise for these moments. At the end of each day, reflect on what went well and where you were distracted. Forgive yourself for any setbacks. Growth isn't about perfection but persistence. Set one small intention for tomorrow, something achievable that aligns with your focus. Now, let me ask you something profound. What legacy do you want to leave behind in 2025? Not in terms of achievements, but in terms of how you lived. Were you fully present? Did you pour your heart into what mattered? When you master focus, you don't just transform your life, you inspire those around you. Imagine the ripple effect of your clarity and purpose. Your children, colleagues, and community will feel it. And finally, let's end with a truth that ties it all together. Focus isn't something you do, it's who you become. It's a state of being that permeates every aspect of your life. So, as you step into 2025, remember this: every moment is an opportunity to practice. Every task, no matter how small, is a chance to reconnect with the present. And every breath is a reminder that you are alive, here, and capable of extraordinary things. Let's make 2025 the year you master not just productivity but the art of truly living. Because in the end, success isn't about doing more, it's about being more. This is your time. Are you ready to embrace it?